Good evening, folks. It's time. I'm with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Friday, August 16th. Yeah, around midnight. Does it matter? We're about to be in Crestone in just about 8 hours. Now, if you come over here and Google Crestone Energy Fair, they didn't do so well last year. 3 people donated, and the people that donated were the organizers. They need a little help over here. So let's please kick it up a notch and donate to the event. Hello. Maybe we'll help out next year. Update. We now have only 12 seconds until climate change destroys the planet. Are you counting? A new update issued by watchdog groups on climate change indicates that this afternoon that we only have 12 seconds left until climate change destroys the planet. We previously thought it was 12 years, then 10 years, then 8 years, then 5 years, then 4 years. Well, now it's under a minute. The Earth will totally be destroyed on the next 12 seconds, said Beto O'Rourke at a rally. If you don't give the government a bunch of money and power, it will happen. Trust me. So hand over the cash, guys. Like now, it's super theoria. Super theoria. We only have 12 seconds. Super theoria. It's all about the end. Oh, Greenland's building ice at the major melt-off of the season. We have a major ice building event happening now as climate alarmists say that Greenland is melting into oblivion. We have record-breaking uptick in ice building August 16th, just a day before we go to Crestone. Holy macaroni. Whoa, let's take a look at the Arctic. The Northwest Passage is still impassable at maximum ice melt. We are now building ice in the Arctic as we speak. There is no catastrophic loss of ice, unfortunately. If you're a global warming alarmist, it's not happening. Multi-decadal averages are being penetrated, and we're penetrating ice as it levels off in the Arctic. Yeah, there's still trillions. Well, 5.2 cubic kilometers of ice, which will not melt. Hundreds of thousands of acres spared so far this year in California. Well, the alarmist said we were going to burn up and continue to burn, but there was hundreds of thousands of acres spared this year because of global warming. But the facts are that the number of wildfires in the U.S. since 1985 have been decreasing. This is data, which is often referred to as SHMETA. But when you look at the data, the number of wildfires has epically decreased over the last 3 decades. That's a decreasing. And if you come look at some geological data, I mean, are you kidding me? Here we're looking at historical simulations from 1830 to present. And the black line is observed data. Okay? And this is the global area burned on the planet, which peaked right here. You see it peaking? I'm peaking. It peaked in the 1930s. In fact, 1935, when it was the hottest on the planet in North America. But it's been dropping off a cliff since then. And here is your catastrophic global warming, burning of the forests, global area burned from 1995 to 2000. This is the data set. Excellent paper. You know why? Because here we're looking at CO2 emissions from fires historically is above in these colorful graphs, and this is the observed data. Look how low it is. Isn't that insane? And look at how far it's dropping off from forest fires. I love facts. They almost make me feel good. Severe storms to threaten plains and Midwest with large hail damaging winds to the weekend. What is that? Is that a human? Are you doing dabs? Are you doing them now? That is the luckiest prick alive. Totally dab worthy. Holy macaroni. Can you believe that? Schmack? Schmidt? Oh my god. I pop on the screen and all hell breaks loose.
Severe.
Oh, what were they saying? That sounded good. Let's try to go back there. Hold on. Let's reopen that. 2 hailstorms thromp my chomp. 2 hailstorms sweep across Panhandle with 9 hours. Hours of powers, apparently. This is the Panhandle, Nebraska. 2 storms dumped heavy rain and hail Thursday and overnight Friday. The area received hail not once, but twice over a 9-hour span of immaculate conception. It was a deception. Yes, from the left. Viewers tell us you could see hail not only in the Scottsbluff, but in Gettysburg, Miniature, Melbluff, Dalton, Bayard, everywhere. It was everywhere. It was up to 2.75 inches in diameter, bigger than a tennis ball. At 3:45 p.m., hailstones were 1 inch in diameter, the size of quarters, and people were cashing in on the hail. Holy shit. Remember this guy getting electrocuted? That was incredible. Technical difficulties. Onslaught of hail whips through PA town with no pictures. Residents in North Huntington, Pennsylvania, ducked and covered on August 15th when violent hail and wind ripped through the town. We just are reporting on it. Natrona County family residents ride out the window shattering hail. Look at these people. That's pretty nice. That's nice. It's nice to see a tramp stamp in the right place now and again. Glass crutches underfoot as Chris and Alyssa Meskel pointed to the shattered windows on the ground in the gooey mud gathered in front of their single-wide mobile home. They both work at the Turkey Hill, and they hunt ducks in the off-season. Outside, Chris peered into the busted remains of the rearview mirror on his recently bought pickup with a hood punctuated with pockmarks with golf ball-size hail. Now, Chris was pissed. 13 hours earlier, they marveled at the lightning show that danced over Casper before turning in. And when they woke up, they were fluxed. That's what Alyssa said. I went out to where my husband was, and I told him it was going to get bad, and a few minutes later, it got real bad. Well, it's like, holy macaroni. Look at these windows. They look like they're made of sugar. I would ask for the upgrade. Billings woman feared for her life during the recent hailstorm while she bled from the eyebrow. As a producer for Q2's evening newscast, Kat Hill writes many of the stories you see each night or whatever. But it was her plight. When she was on the phone with 911 and got hit with another piece of large hail, I'm not going to survive this, she said. Well, apparently she's not prepared. She needs one of the Oppenheimer Ranch hard hats that we're developing right now, which will be in the Preparedness store soon. Thousands of birds found dead near Molt from hailstorm. This is in Montana. Carcasses found on the shore of Big Lake. It was a mistake. Excuse me. 11,000 birds were found dead or maimed. I can't even read this shit. 11,000 birds were found dead or maimed by state wildlife biologist management area west of Malta as a result of the weekend hailstorm. Holy macaroni. Where are we at? Severe storms in the plains, heavy rain potential in the southwest. Which is the best? Do you have your shungite ready for Crestone? I do. Oh, and I'm drinking deep. An approaching cold front will interact with lingering moisture in the plains. And Saturday, which will be Saturday in Pagosa. How do we do this? Do I go over here? Okay. Anyway, a tropical wave will interact with the stationary front. Look at the warnings. It's going to be hot as balls out here in the Midwest. Some stuff happening in the desert and where I live, but I'm going to be over here. So heads up, nothing happening where I'm at. So if you care, go to weather.gov and click on your county. Did we fix it? Okay. Figures show claims mounting as hail hammers Saskatchewan farmers in 2019. You know what that means? Is that when you get hammered with hail, the Canadian Crop Hail Association, who knew they existed, says more than 10,000 damage claims have been received by its member companies so far this season, which is a season with a reason to remember. Are you doing dabs now? I am. That was April 14th. That's why we're watching. But it was awesome. Europe suffering very concerning brassica shortage following extreme weather. That means broccoli, cauliflower, and other shit that you eat like kale. Holy hell! Europe is currently experiencing a severe brassica shortage after extreme weather killed off much of the year's crop, with the UK one of the worst hit nations. Damaging spring frost, followed by record June rainfall, destroyed crops in Lincolnshire, England, and alternative European supplies wilted in the last month bursts of heat. Prices of cauliflowers in particular have soared as a result of many farmers having suffered crippling financial losses, while other brassicas, including cabbage, broccoli, and Brussels sprouts, are also in short supply. The British Governors Association, the BGA, has described the situation as very concerning in the brassica region. Crops can withstand reasonable amount of variation in weather. However, with the grand solar minimum, the brassicas are totally fluxed, says Diamond. And that is, it's a boom. Where were we? Fracking may be a bigger climate problem than we thought. Holy! Mysterious recent spike in methane emissions. Either cows are farting their arses off, or it just might be fracking. Says, as greenhouse gases go, CO2 is not one of the most significant ones at less than 0.5% total. We should really be looking at water vapor if we're talking about global warming. But I digress. As greenhouse gases go, methane gets less attention than CO2, which is plant food, by the way. But it is a key contributor to the nonsense that is called climate change, which happens all the time, is variable, and is natural and cyclic and enforced by the sun. Anyway, methane does not stay in the atmosphere as long as CO2. because CO2 follows temperature and is a product of being released by the massive things called oceans on our Earth. Now, when it comes to reducing CO2 emissions, we've totally duped the population into thinking that if they can control 0.0001% of CO2, then we will change climate. But that's not even true, man. Here's the stupid reason Elon Musk wants to nuke Mars. Well, he wants to try to make an atmosphere there. This is how smart this child is. Read the article. He's a puppet. It's like the richest retard that they've ever hired. It's like the great sinking island. Sea level rise is washing away Micronesia's history. We reported on this when it happened. Micronesia and the Pacific atolls are washing away because of catastrophic sea level rise. Wait! Sinking! Pacific nation is getting bigger, according to new study 2018 February. All the Pacific atolls are, wait a minute, they're growing in size. The Pacific nation of Tuvalu, long seen as prime candidate to disappear as climate change forces up sea levels, is actually growing in size. New research shows a weather station above the Arctic just hit 94.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Holy oh my God, we're dead. Greenland's massive ice melt wasn't supposed to happen until 2070. But it's already 90 degrees up there. Oh my God. Wait a minute. Here we are at the Danish Meteorological Institute, where we're actually seeing ice building in massive quantities during the peak melt season. That's abnormal. Greenland's ice mass budget is building massively as predicted mid-August. I said it would hit the gray line by mid-August. Now, I don't have to go back and even find that video because I know you heard it. Not only that, this giant spike down is an anomaly that is not real. It's a fraud. DMI published 72 hours ago a tweet that said that this down spike is impossible because the entire sheet was below freezing during the anomaly. But global warming alarmists picked up on it as we rapidly build ice on Greenland. And I don't hear Mary Greeley's channel, do you? 5.4 earthquake off Oregon coast. No tsunami danger. Look at how gorgeous that star is. It's almost like baby Jesus in Jerusalem or Bethlehem or wherever that is supposed to happen. It's gorgeous. I'm like shining like a light. There's the 5.4 that produced no tsunami and no deaths, thankfully. If you think anything else, then you're just Anyway, mystery volcano that cooled the ancient world, traced to El Salvador. Yeah. Popo volcano. Elevated activity, 13 explosions during the last 24 hours. Hours of powers. Worldwide volcano news update. Sabancaya puffing to 24,000. Explosive activity continues. Ducono and others, including Popo. Are times changing? Is the Arctic melting? No. In fact, it's building. One of the earliest turnarounds in decades. Mid-August, the Arctic is building ice again. Northwest Passage was never open. Facts suck, don't they? Global temperatures have dropped 0.5 degrees in 4 years, down to the July temperature of the UAH satellite. Lower global atmosphere, version 6.0. Yeah. If I was Santa, I would say ho, ho, ho. Anyway, West Nile virus cases spike in your flux to adapt.
Well, in Health Watch, the U.S. is on alert for West Nile virus. West Nile is the most common virus transmitted by mosquitoes. The recent spike is common for this time of year. Danya Bacchus has more on how to protect yourself.
You may have noticed more of those pesky mosquitoes biting recently, and whether they could be carrying West Nile virus is a big health concern now. 36 states are reporting infections in people, birds, and mosquitoes. Dr. Peter Hotez is with Baylor College of Medicine.
We're right now at around the peak period of West Nile virus, and this is going to continue into September. West Nile virus is the greatest health threat to the United States in terms of mosquito-transmitted viruses.
The CDC says there have been 128 cases of West Nile disease in people this year, and 4 have died. Cases with severe disease are also on the rise. 1
in 5 individuals will get sick. They'll develop fever, sometimes fever and a rash, and a headache. And then a subset of those individuals will progress to what we call neuroinvasive disease, where the virus actually crosses into the central nervous system to cause encephalitis.
Protecting yourself from mosquito bites is critical. The CDC recommends using insect repellent containing one of these ingredients. Christina McCarthy admits she doesn't always carry bug spray.
I do have bug spray at home, so maybe I should just move that from my house to my car. This way I have it when we're going on hikes.
Wearing long pants and sleeves can also keep mosquitoes away. So can limiting time outside during dusk and dawn. Danya Bacchus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
I don't even know what they said. Anyway. Hey, guys, I got to point this out. Now, crime pays, but botany doesn't. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you don't have any shungite. But if you have shungite and you've just done a dab of grape god, holy macaroni. Crime pays, but botany doesn't. And this is the funniest fucker on earth. Now, not only that, I want to get him on the show. We got to do a podcast because I'm just as smart about the earth sciences and geology. And this prick is so smart about botany. It's insane. He's in this serpentinite field in this one video I'm watching. He knows more about geology than most geologists I know. And I got to know this guy. Anyway, if you know him and you can get him on the show, do it now. Do a dab. And let's just look at a couple minutes of his shtick, because it's awesome. And I love him. Crime pays, but botany doesn't. Do a dab. I just did. I can't stand it. It was delicious.
What you could call a barrel cactus. This is a Phaerocactus wislizini, apparently named after that guy named Wislizine. Whatever the fuck, I don't know. Wilson? Maybe it was Wilson? Who knows? But either way, that doesn't really matter. Plants shouldn't really be named after people anyways. It's pretty egotistical and obnoxious. But you can still look at those flowers and be pretty amazed by what's going on. I mean, what you're seeing is typical cactus morphology. Just dozens upon dozens of stamens. And then it looks like you actually have quite a few stigmas in there. Which, if you look at some of the other genera, such as Echinocereus, the stigmas on a Phaerocactus are quite different. On Echinocereus, all those stigmas are lobed. On Phaerocactus, you can see they actually look, it looks kind of like a weird squid tentacles coming out of the inner part of that perianth. Perianth, of course, just refers to the corolla, which in cactus they don't really have petals or sepals. They're quite indistinct. I guess they're what you could call tepals. Either way, you can see there's quite a few of them, and they got many bracts. They got the bracts. They got bracts, and then another thing with Phaerocactus you want to pay attention to. Oh, look at all that. Is all that pollen in there? Oh, yeah. There's a lot of pollen in there. You see all that yellow stuff, all the shit that I think the ants smeared it around. They come in here and they do their thing, and they just smear the shit all over the place. They make a mess. It's like a breakfast tray after a toddler was eating, They're just really messy. I mean, I kind of eat like that too, so I can't fault them too much. But you look at all those bracts, and then the thing, as I was going to say, a thing about Phaerocactus, you notice, is a lot of times in the flowers of Phaerocactus, that is the barrel cactus, on those tepals, they tend to be striped. They tend to be a pretty striped as they are right here. So, you have a somewhat darker tone in the center of those tepals. And I don't know if that's 100% for all feral cactus.
But there was some ants, and then they were spreading the pollen around, and this kind of anyway. Come check out his channel; it's amazing. He is one of the most intelligent botanists I know, and he can explain it in layman's terms. It'll be over your head. It'll be like, whew, and you'll be like, whoa! Why didn't I cut my hair into a mohawk like Diamond so I could do that? But anyway, check it out. Crime pays, but botany doesn't. And I'm going to link this video below. Check out all his videos. Tell him Diamond sent you, and let's get him on the show, please. And I've already see here it says, please contact me. I would love to do an interview. One Italian to another from another mother. Oppenheimer Ranch at gmail.com. Pretty please. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple more minutes. Let's do it. It's worth it, man. It's awesome.
Cactus, but at least a lot of the ones I've seen, and you can see the ants they're just going batshit over there.
Boom!
They're just going nuts. And of course, feral cactus, you got your main central spine, and then you just got quite a number of radial spines. And on some species of feral cactus, and there's quite a lot of diversity in the genus, some species of feral cactus, like a few in Baja, will get the central spines that come out to there. Very dangerous, especially if you're trying to look at a flower nice and enjoy it and have a nice time, and you poke your eye out. You can see there's some fruits maturing already, and with these fruits, that's called being inferior. It's an inferior position. That just means the fruit matures below the center of fusion of all the perianth parts. The perianth, of course, is just the flower. If these were more distinct and they were actually petals to tepals and what the shit, that perianth would be composed of a calyx and a corolla. But since there's not really any distinction between all the...
Now, I digress, but this prick over here, Mr. Botany, man, the guy has more knowledge than any fucking PhD that I've ever seen in the fucking world. And he tells it to you right up the throat. God bless him. God bless him. Oh my God. I'm about to leave for Crestone. Mission and vision. Now, if you come over the page, it says Climate Solutions Now. And I can't wait to tell the people that there's no solution to the climate except to exist on Earth. So what we're going to be talking about is solutions to abundance. We're going to be talking about permaculture at this event. We're going to be talking about bringing up the vibration in humanity. And we're going to be talking about permaculture. Survive and thrive. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. And you need to throw that TV out the window. People that believe in climate change clearly are attached to the media. They're attached to that multinational corporation mantra that keeps them sucked into the devastation that is satanic. It attaches you to the mandala of effect. Now, those people that are unattached to that multinational corporation Illuminati connection, they may have the ability to understand the science that we profess, which are called facts, and the natural climate variability forced by the sun will become obvious to many. So I hope I change many minds this weekend, and it will be a complete I'm walking the path, folks. There's nothing preventing me from doing what I'm doing. I'm doing it because I was invited, so I'm walking through it. Many of the religious traditions. And when we go up here to Crestone, it's like literally the manifesto, the bastion of all of the cults. Now, I'm not saying this disrespectfully, but cults are simply religions. People that follow Oppenheimer Ranch Project, you're all part of a cult, by the way, and so on and so forth. Christianity, Buddhism, Taoism. And I've really been reflecting on my discussion tomorrow. It's like 3 p.m., maybe 4, who knows. But just come over here and look, schedule. Let's look at it. Would you just look at it? Here we are. So, we're leaving in about 7 hours. And then I'm going to meet Nate Navarez, somebody here at the info booth. And then Oppenheimer Ranch is going to set up their tent somewhere here. And we'll be here for 2 days. And then I'll be speaking at the regenerative stage here. And then maybe somewhere else. I have no idea. Oh, here we are. I'm going to be at the sustainable permaculture on the resilience stage. Where is that? Resilience stage? Right here. Boom! There's the resilience stage. I'm going to be speaking here on Saturday, which is now, which is Shatterday, on sustainable permaculture. Imagine that. And my talk will begin with Monsanto, and I will stick my foot up their ass, and then I will continue to discuss why I am who I am and why I'm doing what I'm doing. And so that's how that's going to work. And then on Sunday, boom, right there, Diamond, 1:30 to 2:30. Town Hall Dialogues. Where the fuck is that? It's not. It's right there. And they're here. You go in the back door on Sunday and you can hear me. It's your fun day. I'm going to talk about how I used to grow marijuana when I was young, that the feds followed me and they took me down. And they tried to charge me and send me away for 40 years for growing mushrooms and cannabis. And why I'm doing what I'm doing today. But you want to really catch me tomorrow on the regenerative stage, the resilience stage, from 4:30 to 5:30 according to this grid. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to stick my foot right up Monsanto's ass. And I've also brought 16, a lot. Anyway, I bought a bunch of cannabis that I grew last year. We have about 14 pounds of Purple Mountain spinach seed heads. Yeah, it's going to be dope. And I've also harvested like 30 pounds of organic heirloom potatoes. And we're going to be selling those for cost or like for free. Basically, I want to give it all away for free. It's going to be awesome. If you're there, like swimwear, do it. It'll be like knowledge is power. I got to get to bed.